Can you become a freelance writer if English isn't your first language? The answer is yes, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it in this video. Roll the intro. One of the cool things about Location Rebel is that we have such a global audience. I literally think we have had views over the years from every single country in the world. So obviously it's natural that we get a lot of people that are like, hey, you teach all this stuff about freelance writing, but I speak Italian. I'm from Rome. English is only a second language. Can I still become a freelance writer? Well, my friend, the answer is yes, you absolutely can. And there's a few different ways to approach it. There's a few different ways to go about it. And depending on your specific situation and skills, there could be a couple different ways to go. So let's look into what some of those are and dispel this notion that you can't be a freelance writer if English is not your first language, because that's just hogwash. I just said hogwash. This quarantine's really getting to me. Okay, so the first thing to consider is obviously the biggest market for freelance writing is in English. But that's also where there's the most competition. What is your native language, and have you thought about trying to get freelance writing jobs in your native language? Because there's probably going to be a lot less competition and a lot of opportunity. It's going to be something that you know better. All of the things that we've taught on this YouTube channel within Location Rebel, you can apply all of those same things to your native language. So don't feel like you have to do things in English just because that's where the most opportunity is. And you can actually brand yourself and set yourself apart by doing things in your home language, and that could pay off well for you. If you don't necessarily want to write in your home language, you're convinced that English is going to be your thing, well, there's a few things that you should keep in mind. Try and write as naturally and simply as possible. The last thing that you want to do is try and overwrite words. You don't want to try and jam in fancy words to prove that you've got this great grasp of the English language. No, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Make it as simple and direct and to the point as possible while still feeling natural and flowing well. The more you write, the more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. So don't be afraid to set a goal of, I'm going to write 1,000 words a day. Or if you're really serious about this, I'm going to write 2,000 words a day in English just to practice writing naturally. Also, find someone to read and critique your writing. Find a community, find accountability partners where there are people that are native English speakers that can look at your writing and say, yeah, this part looks great. These are the things you should improve. These are the things you should work on. That's really going to help you get a lot better. Along with all of this, I think something that you kind of have to address that is a little bit of an elephant in the room is if your name is not a English sounding name, there can be some bias there. So you have to decide if you want to, have a pen name or if you want to choose a more Americanized name, because the fact is, some people will get an email pitch from you, they'll see a name that doesn't sound familiar to them, and they'll immediately write it off. So by having, maybe a pen name or something like that, while still being honest about who you are, it can at least help get your foot in the door and allow you to prove that you do have a good grasp of writing. And just because you aren't a native English speaker doesn't mean that you can't be someone that can put out really high quality work. But that's going to really come down to your personal preference, how comfortable you are doing that, maybe testing things out, testing it both ways and seeing what happens. That's kind of a personal decision that you have to make. We recently did a video also about having a freelance services website. And so I think that this can be a really, really powerful thing for people who aren't native English speakers, because if you see someone whose name might, not be American or might not be super familiar, might be like, oh, nope, not going to work. But if there's a link to a website where they can go and they can see photos of you, they can hear about your background, they can see examples of your writing, then that's going to take a lot of those concerns and just push them to the side. Be like, oh, this person really knows their stuff. Oh, I trust them. Oh, they're into wakeboarding too. Awesome, let's hire them. So again, figure out how you can set yourself apart from all of the people that aren't doing that. So having that freelance services website, frankly, it just can get rid of a lot of the concerns someone has for hiring a non-native English speaker. So don't be afraid to do that. Put some time into it and really focus on the writing on that site to prove that your language skills are great and that you are a good writer. Finally, use a tool like Grammarly to make sure that you are double checking all of the stuff that you put out there. So if you're, kind of concerned that maybe you don't have the best grammar or your writing isn't perfect or whatever, use Grammarly. Just copy and paste everything, you put it in there, it'll help you fix all those little mistakes. It'll make sure that you're putting your best foot forward and your best piece of writing out there. Every little thing you can do to help and make you feel more confident in your abilities is definitely worth doing, and using Grammarly I think is highly valuable. I mean, I am a native English speaker, and pretty much every blog post we put out goes through Grammarly. So if we're doing it, I definitely think you should be doing it as well. So all of that said, if there's one thing you should take away, it's that yes, even as a non-native English speaker, you can become a freelance writer. There's also varying levels of writing. Like if your English maybe isn't great, you can probably still do some lower level SEO writing. And if you do feel like your English is actually pretty good, but maybe just lack some of the confidence in terms of putting yourself out there and actually trying to reach out to clients, I'd create a series of goals and milestones to really push yourself and get yourself out there. So maybe it's this week, I'm going to send 1 pitch. Maybe next week it's I'm gonna send 3 pitches. Maybe it's by the end of the month, I'm gonna have my services website out. Try and figure out what those goals are and those little things you can do to take action and just become more comfortable with the idea of putting yourself out there, pitching English-speaking companies, pitching English-speaking clients, and doing this even if you're not 100% confident in your skills. So there you go. My name's Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing, Location Rebel. I teach you how to build small businesses that allow you to travel anywhere in the world and spend more time doing the stuff you love. If you want more videos on freelance writing, you want to learn how to build that freelance writing business, we got a freelance writing guide. It's a 6-day course and a guide all about how to get going. You go to locationrebel.com/FWG, link below. And then once you've done that, go check out this playlist right here. It's just 3 videos all about how to figure out what your next lifestyle business should be. Figure out the best business for you. Maybe it's freelancing, maybe it's something else. So go watch those, figure it out, and stay tuned for the next video. We got new videos every Monday and Thursday. See you soon. Peace.